Hey guys, it's Khalif, Fat Guy Skinny Wallet, and I'm actually making this video as I drive home. There was a video that was done recently by I Am Slim by Faith, and the title of her video was We Are One. And I just want to ask that question, and I'll tell you all about it. Are we one? Are we really one? So what the video was about was a division or a kind of separation that she noticed within the weight loss community between those who have had surgery and those who have not had surgery. And she actually pointed out a case where she followed someone who has, and this woman has not had surgery. She followed someone, subscribed to someone who had weight loss surgery, and the person wrote back to her and said, I don't know why you're following me because you haven't had weight loss surgery. And so she unsubscribed from the person and just moved on. But, you know, that's, so that, and some other things, I guess, since she had a conversation with a friend, prompted her to start talking about the weight loss community and looking at the various meetups that happen between, you know, weight loss surgery meetups and local ones, and also I think there's going to be one in Las Vegas soon, or it may have happened already, I'm not sure. But anyway, she was just talking about that, and she asked people to make response videos, so I'm making a response video. What do I think? I will say this. I saw a video that Lisa, LJB415Able, did. I watched it today. She did a response to that video, and it was very good. And one of the things that she mentioned was that there is a national chapter, some association that's dedicated to people who have had weight loss surgery, probably to support them and help them and give them resources. And they are the ones who sponsor the meetups. So it's not that people in the community are getting together and doing this on their own, but it's a larger organization that specifies, you know, that they're helping people who've had surgery, and they're the ones who are sponsoring it. So it's not like people are saying we have to get those non-surgery people out of our face. So that's not it. I'll tell you how I feel about it. I don't care if somebody I'm following has had surgery or not. And you guys should know that. And I've made videos already. Someone asked me on the Renew show early on, I think it was Belinda, probably, Starting Trouble, you know, my thoughts on weight loss surgery, and I made a video about why I did not have weight loss surgery, my thoughts about weight loss surgery and people who've had it. And I put those up on the screen, so you can just watch those if you want to know my full take on it. But personally, I don't care. I don't care if someone has had surgery or not. And honestly, I don't know. If I'm watching someone's videos, I don't know if they've had surgery or not unless surgery is specified in the name of your video, the title. Some people will say, you know, VSG week 20, or some people will have the type of surgery that they had in their name, like my RNY story or the Sleeve Singer. I'm just throwing them out there, not saying anything bad about them, but just saying that people will put, or gastric rolls, you know, they'll put the name of the surgery in it. If you don't do that, I don't know that you had surgery, and I really don't care. If you're going from 600, 500, even 300 pounds, and you now are healthy or getting healthy, that's what I care about. I want to see how you're working out. I want to see how you're eating. I want to see, most importantly, how you're dealing with the mental battles and struggles that we deal with. And as I Am Slim by Faith said, we all know what it's like to be obese. We all know what it's like to have people laugh at us, or to think that people are laughing at us when we're in a public place. We all know what it feels like to have a bad relationship with food. You know, we all know what all these things feel like. So, in my mind, I don't care if a person has a lap band, if a person has a sleeve, if a person has gastric bypass. I don't care in that sense, because we're all trying to be healthy, and we all can learn from one another. And honestly, that was the biggest reason why I wanted to start Renew, is because I wanted us to be able to all learn from each other. You know, for all of us to say, well, this is what this person is doing, and it's helping them. Yeah, you know what, they had surgery and I didn't, but guess what? They still have to control what they're eating. They still have urges. Some people are addicted to food. Well, how are these people overcoming their food addictions? How are people who usually eat under stress now not eating when they're in a stressful situation? How are people handling these things? How are people changing their lives? That's what I want to see, because we can learn from each other. And to me, it doesn't matter if you've had surgery or not. I really don't care. And there's honestly people who they'll come out after being on YouTube for a year and they'll say, today's my surgery. And I'll say, wow, I didn't even know they had surgery. Or I'll only know because maybe they had the lap band and they say they needed to get a refill or something like that. You know, other than that, I don't know, and I really don't care. You know, I just want to see how you're handling the journey now, because I want to know what I can learn from you, and I want to know how I can offer support in any way I can, and any resources that I have that I can share. That's it. As far as there being kind of cliques, I will say yes, there is. I mean, there are some people who, when they make videos, they only speak from a perspective of somebody who's had surgery. And sometimes they only speak from the perspective of someone who's had their particular type of surgery. So you'll see people even narrow it down to those subsections, subgroups. Is that wrong? In one respect, I say yes, and one I don't. I'm going to say why I don't think it's wrong now. It's not because, okay, for instance, me, when I'm not watching people who are trying to lose weight, I watch people who are trying to get stronger. So I watch powerlifters, and I watch even some bodybuilders who focus on strength training. So those are the people that I watch, because I want to learn more about it. I want to develop better form. I want to learn about resources, exercises, different things I can do to get stronger physically, right? Because that's the big part of how I'm getting healthier overall, is to try to be physically stronger. I don't expect Julie Wilson, who, is like my best YouTube friend, but I don't expect her to watch the same people that I watch who aren't trying to lose weight but are just, lifting weights and are power lifters, because her favorite thing to do as far as exercise is run. So just because I have a subsection of, yes, I'm trying to lose weight, but I'm also watching these people and I'm also associating with these weightlifters, powerlifters, that doesn't mean that I'm doing that and shunning the weight loss community while doing it. And if someone says, you know what, I have a lap band, and someone who hasn't had surgery, it's going to be hard for them to understand some of the things I'm dealing with. When people talk about, it's funny, when people talk about all the issues dealing with different types of surgery, they talk about dumping and slider foods and all these things. I didn't know what any of that stuff was until, coming on YouTube and seeing what people are dealing with, and I have to ask them in the comments, hey, I can tell you're having a tough time, but I really don't know what dumping is. Can you, explain to me what you mean when you say that you were dumping? Just so I can better understand what you're going through. Well, guess what? If they were talking to someone else who had surgery, they wouldn't have to take the time to explain it. So sometimes they will come and they'll say, how do you handle this? Well, I don't know. There's been plenty of times that people who have had surgery put out videos that they're asking for specific advice about how to handle an aspect of their surgery. I can't answer those questions, but you know what? I still will support them. And if I see someone in the community make a video that I think can address that, I'll send them a message and say, hey, I don't know anything about your surgery, but you said you were having problems getting solid proteins down, and this person just made a video, Philly Tomcat just said, here's the top 5 ways I've been able to get solid proteins down. Maybe you can check that video out. So that's how I look at it, is that there has to be somewhat of a division, because when you need specific support or resources or advice geared towards the surgery that you've had, then you have to go to other people who've had that surgery. Just like when I need advice about powerlifting, there aren't too many people, maybe I can ask Tina, but there aren't really too many people in the weight loss community that I can ask about it. But it doesn't mean that I'm putting up a wall that separates me from everyone who is not a power lifter or a weightlifter. I think the same thing is true with any other aspect of the journey. There are going to be smaller parts of the journey. I have a food addiction. Other people have food addiction. Some people don't. Some people binge eat as a response to some emotional stress. you know, but they don't have this nagging kind of addiction that comes. They eat in response to something. You know what? They may not be able to understand every aspect of the struggles within my journey, but we can both support each other and we can both interact because we are trying to get healthier. Why I think the division is bad is because you lose that part of it. When someone only makes videos geared towards certain things, and I'll say this, I had noticed, especially when I first started, because I didn't know, you know, I didn't know what all these things, I didn't know what all the acronyms were, you know, I didn't know what all the jargon that's specific to surgery was. I felt kind of left out in a lot of sense. I watch people's videos, and there's people that I subscribe to because I thought they were on a weight loss journey, and it turns out that 99% of their videos were just talking about surgery. And it was like, I can't even interact with you. I can't get anything from you or lend anything to you because you're talking about something that I can never experience and I can never, you know, understand fully. But I know what? I understand hunger. I understand, you know, trying to be disciplined. I understand all the things I need to do to change my mind. I understand having a poor relationship with food, right? So if you want to talk about all those things, we can talk. But if all of your videos are going to just be talking about that, or you only subscribe to people who have had surgery, or you only will comment on the videos of someone who's had surgery, you know, when you restrict yourself in that way, you limit the amount of information that you can get. You limit the amount of support that you can get. And for me, I feel the same way, you know, when it comes to any type of segregation. If you limit the people you interact with because of one, you know, quality that you don't see in them, whether it be something external or internal, then you're limiting your resources. You know, and you may not be as successful on your journey because you are limiting the amount of resources that you have that you can tap into. So it's bad in that sense. And yes, I have noticed that. And I think one of the reasons, it's funny, Rob Reno and I were talking about this last night after the Renew show, because we started talking about that video, the one I'm responding to, and he said he planned on doing a response to it as well. And I said, oh wow, you know, I told her I would do a response to her video as well. So we're both doing it, and we just start talking and saying, you know, that we have noticed it somewhat, and I'm speaking for myself, I'm not going to put words in Rob's mouth. I don't know if his videos come out yet or not, or how he's going to address it. But, you know, one thing that I've noticed is that there probably is a kind of insecurity among those who have had surgery, and I assume the reason is because it's still not completely accepted in society. There are a lot of people who look down on those who have had surgery. There are a lot of people who say, oh, well, they just wanted the easy way out. They didn't want to work hard, you know, because they don't understand what it takes to lose weight with surgery. It's going to take changing your mind. It's going to take getting a new relationship with food. It's going to take working out hard. It's going to take watching what you eat and being healthy. You know, it's going to take all those things just like it would if you didn't have surgery. So, but they don't understand it, so they look down on people who do. And I think there is an automatic defense mechanism that when someone mentions surgery who hasn't had it, those who have had it are looking for keywords and listening and saying, what negative thing, what bigoted thing is this person about to say about surgery? You know, what ignorant thing are they going to say because they haven't experienced what I've experienced? And so when someone says, yeah, I haven't had surgery, some people may take that as he think he better than me. He think he can lose the weight without surgery and I need the surgery because I'm weak. Where that's not what I'm saying at all. You know, and I'm not talking about me directly, but, you know, people say that. And I think I'm confident when I say that the people that I know and on YouTube who have had weight loss surgery know that I support them and know that I don't care if they've had surgery or not. You know, if you look at the Renew show, the guests we've had, some have had surgery, some have not. They've had different types of surgery. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. I don't care. You know, I still want to follow someone's journey, and I'm still, when someone who's had surgery loses 100 pounds, and someone who didn't have surgery loses 100 pounds, I'm excited for both. I don't look at one and say, oh, well, you had surgery. You took the easy way out. That's not easy. But anyway, I'm not getting on what I feel about surgery. But just saying that I I think there is a kind of defense mechanism that comes up where automatically when surgery is mentioned by someone who's not had surgery, those who've had surgery are looking and waiting to hear something negative, or waiting to see how they're being attacked. And it's not always the case. And so sometimes it's easier to say, well, I'm just going to kind of group together with these people who I feel comfortable with, because I know someone else who has surgery is not going to judge me for having surgery. But yet if I expose myself to all of YouTube, you know what? Some of those people, I'm going to hear some negative comments about having surgery. All right. I actually got a phone call in the middle of that video. But you know, honestly, I do think, and I'm going to cut this now because my time is really going long. That's what happens when I talk in the car. But I just want to say that I think we are one. I think we are all on a weight loss. And honestly, I extend that past people who are just trying to lose weight. I think we are one should encompass everyone who is trying to be healthy. That means if somebody already looks fit, but they are still trying to challenge themselves physically, they still have to worry about what they eat. Maybe not at every meal, but they in general have to worry about their overall diet. Then you know what? We can get together. Even if you're not trying to lose weight, or if you've lost weight already. You know, some people think that the YouTube channel has to change. You know, if I hit my goal and I'm healthy, then some people won't get any support from me. But I know what it's like to not be, you know, healthy. And yeah, I'm at CVS right now about to get some drugs. So for me and my wife, I'm just watching people, you know, come by and stuff. I really don't care if they see me talking. But, you know, there's a tendency to gravitate towards someone that you think is more like you in a attempt to not be judged while you interact, not be judged for your actions, not be judged by something that doesn't mark your true character. And it's rather than trying to integrate yourself into other arenas, it's easier sometimes to kind of fall back and say, we're going to form this clique of like-minded people, or people who have the same physical quality. For instance, race. You'll see a lot of people, and I really don't even believe in this whole idea of race, and that's a whole other thing, but I've taught on this at my church, actually, and you can listen to that if you want. I'll send you a link if you really care about that. But you go and you'll say, oh, you go in a classroom, a lecture hall with 200 people in the class, and you'll notice that the 15 black people all sit next to each other. And they talk and they form the study groups. It's not as bad anymore, especially where I work, because I work in the most diverse university in the country. So you don't see that as much. But I have noticed that. You notice things like that. It just kind of happens that people gravitate like that. And I don't think it's any different with YouTube and the weight loss surgery community. I think that when weight loss surgery, especially when it was new and it was attacked, there needed to be a community of people who were losing weight by surgery. You know, at least using surgery as a tool, because they were looked down upon by people who were just losing weight with more natural means and not altering themselves physically. So, you know, how I feel, we're one. We should be one anyway. I do see pockets where cliques form, and I think that they're forming past the point where it's just, I need people who can understand what I'm going through, because I think they're missing out on so many people who are going through the same things but just didn't alter themselves physically. And that's a very, very, very small difference in my mind for the most part on this journey. You know, how you restrict yourself. Because ultimately you're going to have to restrict yourself mentally, because there are people who have weight loss surgery and they find ways to work around the limitations that surgery has imposed so that they can still eat more than they should. There are people who just constantly eat all day. Eat small amounts and will gain weight that way, or they eat the certain types of food that can kind of bypass the restrictions that they have. So yeah, that's it. We're one. I hope we can even be more of one, and I think we all can learn from each other no matter what we're doing to lose weight. And that even goes from you people who aren't lifting weights, even though, in my opinion, everyone should lift weights, because there's a lot more benefits than just growing, you know, a bunch of muscles. But, you know, that's me. If you don't want to lift weights, I'll still follow you. I'll still support you. You already know that I follow and support runners and people who've done everything, do everything in between. So that's it. That's what I have to say. And I love everybody, no matter what you've done to your body or what you're doing to get fit. So let's all be one. How about that? That should be like a song. Or that should be like, we should have like a meeting, a weight loss community meeting. The title is just Let's All Be One. Okay, that sounds really campy and hokey. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good evening. And remember, it doesn't get easy. You just get stronger.